It's all about the impact. It's all about our communities. We serve our communities, and I don't think people, our own family, let alone others, realize that every aspect of what realtors do changes, impacts, grows, and affects the futures of our communities in every single way. When somebody doesn't have a home to go to and they can pay for toothbrush, toothpaste with that money, get a hotel room, the impact of the realtor family is felt and remembered. The transactional part of real estate didn't fill my cup. The impact part of real estate that we do, these foundations in all their forms, frankly, the advocacy that we do to support our communities fills my cup.
Hello, our world. Welcome back to another episode of RWorld Talk. I've got a good friend here with me this morning, Mr. JD McClintock, joining us for the second time on the show. Welcome back.
Thanks, buddy.
How you doing, homie?
Oh man, it's so great to be back. Long-time listener, second-time caller. So
Well, let's have some. We're going to talk about serious stuff today, but it is always nice to have a friendly face on the other side of this table because it ends up being a very easy conversation we're going to have. Last time you were here because we were talking about RPAC,
of course,
I think.
I believe that's correct. We're talking about all things advocacy and the money we raise for that. Seems like I'm always here to raise a little money
Raising
for
some cash.
the way we impact our communities. So
Yeah,
always a good cause that the realtors are going after.
that's it. That's it. If you guys know why JD was here last time, because you are a avid listener, longtime watcher of this podcast, drop it in the comments because I'm not going to check, and we're going to see if somebody knows and remembers last time JD was here. But welcome back. For those who may not know, why don't you tell us about your current role and why you're here today, and why the mission matters to you personally?
Awesome. Well, my current role and what we're talking about here today is our newly formed but built on legacies of foundations and work that we do in the community. So, the RWorld Community Foundation, I've had the pleasure of being asked to be chair of as we formed it in the first year. It stands on a history of foundations that we've had in Broward, in Palm Beach, and in St. Lucie. And we took what was three different foundations pulling us apart, brought it into one thing that's concise that our entire realtor family can get behind.
Sure.
So, in that capacity, I am chairman of the board for the Our World Foundation.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the work that you continue to do. For those of you that don't know, there was the Broward Charitable Foundation, which really took care of the needs of the community. Then we had the
Pay It Forward Foundation.
Pay It Forward, which was Palm Beach County,
Yeah, and that took care of our realtor family in different capacities.
right? And then the St. Lucie Foundation,
Yep.
which was
Attainable housing. So,
Attainable Housing.
and that's what, in part, this is built off of as one of the core foundations, but providing down payment assistance for those who are looking to buy that home and need that just little bit of extra push to be able to get there.
And you are also involved on the national level with the Realtor Relief Foundation.
Yes. So a component of what we do, and it's Florida, and disasters are our thing here, as we know, with hurricane.
No.
Yeah, a little bit. And we've had a history of great involvement, whether it's in our backyard or across the state in our backyard, right? But I get also the pleasure to serve as the chair for the Realtor Relief Foundation, which is National Association of Realtors in-house foundation. And we're lucky enough there to be able to deploy some pretty serious resources to any federal, state, or local disaster that's declared in order to help those that are displaced from their home when something like that happens.
Yeah, that's some big money.
Yeah, thankfully. And thankfully, in the last couple of years, particularly, we're in our 25th anniversary with that. And we can talk a little bit about where all of this started, but which is pretty cool. We have some good funds, and we're hoping to make that, and it's similar to our foundation here, evergreen as we continue to build it.
Awesome. So you've served in leadership throughout organized real estate. What is it about the community service aspect? I mean, Realtor Relief Foundation on the national level, RWorld Community Foundation here locally. What is it that's drawing you to the community service, and what pulled you toward the foundation? Why are you at the helm?
Yeah. I hope that I can take other people's visions and make it into what is going to impact our communities the best. And so, what I love about the community aspect is realtors are thought of as very transactional, and it's so not the case, right?
Right.
They're community leaders in all of these different ways. When asked, a realtor will almost always step up, step out, do what's needed. And so I saw that I was, years into real estate before I started getting involved on the board aspects, the community service aspects, the committees that we have and have had. Um, and I saw the impact that people were having, and you almost didn't know what they did because they don't talk about it enough, frankly.
Right.
You don't want to lead with, oh, I did this, this, and this. No, realtors just do it and then they move on and they do it again somewhere else, right? So
Because in
see,
leadership, we're always taught, like,
yeah,
don't brag about what you did, just go and do the work.
just
But
go do the work. Yeah.
sometimes you need to be that ambassador and brag about it like crazy to get other people to understand why you're doing it.
100%. And it's the weak it's honestly, it's the best kept secret that we have,
Yeah,
but it's
I
the
agree.
weak point of being able to show the value and have, as you just said, additional impact through it. So I got drawn in because I realized cumulatively what we can do together when something comes up.
So let's talk about the foundation's mission. We've talked about the fact that it was three different foundations that have all been sort of meshed into one. So what is the Our World Community Foundation's mission, and why should every realtor listening right now, or
Right.
not listening, or hear about it, why should we all care about it?
It's the core impact that we can have, right? And collectively. So there's several pillars that have been brought in from the former institutions. The first one is that attainable housing. So being able to give out up to $2,500 in down payment assistance to somebody who qualifies, who meets the guidelines, and is that person that needs that little bit to get there. I use this statistic in my business regularly, and I was wrong, funny enough. So, the statistic I use is that the difference that somebody has in their net worth between a renter and an owner is $8,500 for a renter and $260,000 for an owner, which is significant, right?
Crazy.
Well, I looked up the updated one. It's $10,000 for a renter and it's $430,000 for an owner. 43 times the net worth when somebody steps into ownership rather than renting.
Wow.
So this little tiny help, I mean, $2,500 doesn't sound like enough, but often it's the difference between somebody continuing to rent and being able to have that home person and change, let alone the wealth in their life, potentially generational wealth. It's incredible to me, the impact that can have. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
major.
first pillar. The second pillar is disaster relief. And there's a partnership aspect to that with the Realtor Relief Foundation nationally that allows us to have a larger leveraged position when there is something like that.
Mhm.
The third pillar is the community impact. Boots on the ground. We've got so many members now. 39,000 members in the R World side of things, but now with partnering with Miami, merging frankly with Miami, we have 93,000 members to have impact and be in the communities, anything from a paint your heart out to um, a Habitat for Humanity build to
Right.
anything that we do, as important as the dollars are, the hands-on impact that we can deploy is incredible. So those are the three core pillars of what we do.
Can you imagine if everybody just gave $10?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And what's funny is you would, if I asked you, if I said,
Right.
Chris, hey, $10, do you mind? Can you help? You buy me coffee, would you do this? No
All day.
question, right? So it's funny, the framework of trying to get that ask out to the greater masses, because I don't know one realtor that wouldn't give it in an ask, but it's the task to ask, right?
Right. Even, you know what? Why don't you talk to your broker and see if you can get just one line put on your check request form, underneath your RPAC donation. If you could just throw an extra $10 to
Right.
the foundation, that would make a world of difference. So there you go, right there.
Yeah.
Be an ambassador.
That
Tell
is,
your broker to put it
they
on the
don't
check
listen to
request.
anything else beyond that. have that conversation for me or call me up. I'll have that conversation for you.
There you go. What's the biggest misconception that realtors have about the foundation, or any foundation for that matter? The Realtor Relief Foundation, the RWorld Community Foundation. We're always asking for money, and a lot of times we have a hard ask with RPAC. It's a really hard conversation to have when you're talking about political fund dollars.
Right.
It's a way easier conversation to have when you're saying somebody's in need. Can I get $10? So what's the biggest misconception you think that people have about it?
So my biggest misconception early on was that that was only for realtors and that it
It's
wasn't for
absolutely not.
the community,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So these initiatives, and I think it's the blanket misunderstanding, frankly, of a lot of what realtors do is that it's really not about me. It's not about me being the realtor. It's about the impact that the community is getting from it, both from the transaction and what it does when somebody moves and all the hands that are involved in something like that. But then from a charity standpoint, the impact we can have, as we just talked about, on somebody's legacy and literally what they can have in their lifetime, let alone helping somebody literally construct a home by getting 50 realtors out there to help in a Habitat for Humanity build, right?
Right.
So my biggest misconception when I heard any kind of realtor foundation was that it was just for my realtor family. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. Florida's disaster relief is focused on that, which is another great partnership because the
Right.
national is about the community. Our stuff is about the community. So we can tie these things together in order to have the greatest impact. It's awesome, actually, these partnerships that we've been able to form at the different levels. But in my head, before I got majorly involved, it's like, oh, that's cool. I want to help my realtor family, but somebody else will do it potentially.
Hmm.
But for me, when it was a reality check of, hey, I can help them, but I can also help these communities I've served and been able to transact in, frankly,
Right.
that's when the bigger mission and idea and impact came to light for me.
Yeah, I've never been one to say, "Sorry, can't help you." But you passed me the Silent Angels envelope. It's like I always
Yeah.
make sure on the BOD morning, like there's money going into the envelope. I love that there's like a little QR code now. You just scan it and do it from your phone. Same thing with National Association. One of the cool things that in my mind, one of the cool things about the Our World Community Foundation, something happens in your community, there's no red tape to go through. We don't have to go to Florida Realtors to put in the request to go to NAR to pull down the assistance money that gets funneled through one organization to another organization. By the time it moves quickly,
Oh, yeah.
don't get me wrong. These things happen lightning fast. But when somebody gives to the Our World Community Foundation, was it just last year that we had all the tornadoes up in Port St. Lucie, and the realtor community, the Our World realtor community, was able to mobilize in like 2 seconds, and everybody had cleanup equipment and the trucks, and they were it was neighbor helping neighbor, and there were funds that were available in order to assist,
What?
and it didn't take an grant application in order to go ahead and
Yeah.
mobilize.
No, absolutely. And that's one of the things in my service in this, I've always been impressed with is how fast our world, as big as it is,
Yeah.
and now Miami, our world, is able to impact. When we had a hurricane down in the Keys, I jumped in a van. In 5 days, we put together all of these resources, threw them in vans,
Yep.
drove down there to be there when the need was there. West coast of Florida, you and I were there together with chainsaw certifications, cutting
Yeah.
down trees and helping out people.
We dropped
Boots
off a
on the ground.
generator at Shane
Yeah,
Springs place out on the
yeah.
West Coast.
And then bring it back home to St. Lucie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Stepping up and when the funds are needed, getting them directly. I'll make the connection too, though, as you said, applications, everything else. When you look at the Realtor Relief Foundation being part of it as well, I mean, they cut out all the red tape on that too. When there's a disaster, and one of the nice things that I talked earlier about where the partnership is we supply the funds to the local. So because we have this foundation, whatever monies we need based on the calculation of displaced people are, that money comes to our local foundation. And then in a combined name of our local foundation, our local board, our local realtors, we deploy those funds as fast. The board of there has a speed to the need mentality.
Yep.
It's actually quite often before FEMA resources can hit the ground, our resources are
We've already
there.
done it. Yeah.
We're already there with the money.
100%.
And when somebody displays that $1,000, again, it doesn't sound like a lot when you're sitting across the table or you're having dinner somewhere.
Yep.
But when somebody doesn't have a home to go to and they can pay for toothbrush, toothpaste with that money, get a hotel room, uh, the impact of the realtor family is felt and remembered.
Yeah, I remember when Irma came through, and I think it was Irma and Chuckalowski was underwater. We were down there before the Red Cross and FEMA made it there
It's
with
incredible.
boots and generators and water and food and anything that you could possibly need. It was like a whole contingent of realtors that were like, we're going because they've got to go through. Is it safe? Is it this? Is it that? Is it whatever? We're just calling people like, hey, is the road open? Can I get down there? Because we're coming. We got truckloads full of people and supplies and whatnot. And if you ever need somebody to get you a chainsaw certification, I got a guy. Just saying.
I might be the guy.
um, one of the foundation's most impactful programs is closing cost assistance. That
Yes.
is, the baby of the Treasure Coast. How does that work? How does somebody tap into that?
So we've streamlined that too. So if you go to our website, and I can't believe we haven't mentioned the website yet, but
We were
RWorldCares.com.
saving it.
Yeah. Let's get it out there. Come on. Get on
We've
the
got to say it 3
I'm
times
doing
so
this.
people
I
remember it.
just realized how old I actually am, that instead of doing this, I did this when I said to go to RWorldCares.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we grew up with typewriters.
Yeah, it's great. RWorldCares.com, and it used to be a paper application. And we said, hey, as we're redoing everything, no, we need to bring this in the modern world. So if you go to Our World Cares, if drop down tab, click there, and the whole outline is there, all the input in one place. Helen Dempsey does all of our underwriting for these, a great
Yeah.
staff member that we have with a great background. She's got an eagle eye for breezing through everything to get the application done, but at the same time verifying because we're dealing with real money here, right, people, right? So we've streamlined that, and if you've got a home, if you have the need, we have up to $2,500 to help you with those closing costs.
Right. And if you guys go to ourworldcares.com and you find yourself hitting a wall, quite literally, there may be a stop page. That means that the applications are not open because there is no disaster that has happened that money is available for, or we might have run out of some of the closing cost assistance money, but it cycles.
It does. It does. And that's one of the biggest things about the ask, frankly, even here or anywhere we can. And we're running events, so check the calendars for the association, the
Yeah.
fundraising events on a regular basis. Thankfully, right now, we have funds because of bringing in the other charities,
Yep.
because of, frankly, dues billing, where we make requests to support things like this. We have the funds right now to support.
Yep.
As of this first year, we're structured to give out 20 of these in 3 counties as of right now.
Yeah.
St. Lucie has done some this year already because they're kind of already acquainted with it.
Yeah.
But we are just starting to process in the other counties. So
Yeah, it's not well known across our territory, but certainly people in St. Lucie know about it and use it. And there is an Our World Cares QR code that our communications team has developed to make things super simple for you. So anytime you go to a class or an event or a reception, there should be a QR code somewhere. If you can't find it, ask a staff member because they will pull it up on their phone in 2 seconds and you'll be able to scan that QR code and either apply for assistance if you need it, or on the flip side of the coin, please donate. Donate often and make sure that we've always got money in there for those who need it. Best to do it after you've had a cocktail or two because then you get more money. One of the foundations, okay, we've gone through closing cost assistance. Let's get into um, the foundation really made the decision to bring that disaster relief in-house. We've touched on this briefly, cutting through a little bit of that red tape and making it easier to get to those funds when we need it. But why don't you walk us through what happens when a disaster strikes and the foundation actually activates? Take us through the steps. You and I are joking around about the chainsaws, but this is real. This is real stuff. There's real need, and it is very streamlined. And our staff and our members who are involved know exactly what to do when the need arises. But why don't you walk us through what that scenario looks like?
So there's definitely two sides of that coin, right? There's the money that we can provide, and then there's the okay, boots on the ground. How do we get people to actually help? We almost from the boots on the ground perspective when we see something as leadership, and I'm thankful and as are you to be part of the leadership group of this organization, there is never a hesitation to go, what is the need? We have relationships around the state, let alone in our own backyard,
Right.
and we go, hey, who's the closest person to do this? Let's talk to them. What are the real needs? And people assume what the needs are. Oh, we water or a chainsaw or this. No, like, what are you guys seeing? What do you need?
Right.
And how do we fill that need based on frankly, the relationships, the people, the realtors we have that will step up when asked. We have all the communication portals, right? So once we have that compiled and our, our top leadership, Deanna as CEO and everybody, they're always behind these missions because they
Right.
understand the impact as well. We're able to start to assimilate. Frankly, your top leadership, you, myself, many others are always willing to jump in the car and go where
And
it's needed
sometimes
when it
that's
makes
not
sense.
the
Yeah.
move. So
Sometimes it's
sometimes it's
not.
like, don't anybody come up here right now. You can't get through the road and we need the ambulances to get through.
Right.
So like, don't move. Don't
That's
come
a
up
good point.
here.
That's a good point. Uh, but when needed, the willingness is there is my
100%.
point. The resources with a real list of what's needed. And then frankly, we've got so many locations that when we make a call to action, it's incredible how quickly things start showing up of the physical need to
Hmm.
be brought, right? On the flip side, we have raised the money independently in the time of need. Hey, here's where you can donate through our emails, through our texts, whatever we need. The partnership with RRF is the leverage point that we have, though. We, as a foundation and organizations, donate into the Realtor Relief Foundation
Yeah.
nationally. Um, frankly, hundreds of organizations like us do this in order to support that as well as individuals, local, state, national. And frankly, we're starting to move into grant programs and independence, like your big box stores and stuff, going, hey, you're in a disaster. We see the need. You guys come to us, you get stuff, we're going to donate back in, which is super cool. That's
Mhm.
like the next level. But all that being said, we can very quickly put an application is. It's streamlined too. I'm on the board of directors up there as well. We meet weekly for based on need, and we can return funds inside of a week, even in emergency sessions. Where I'm going with that is it's a multiplier. So those contributions we did that have helped tornadoes in the Midwest and fires in California, when I hate to say it's our turn, but it's our turn at some point.
It's going to be. It's
Inevitably,
inevitable. Yeah.
right? Um, we get a multiple back. So where we would have to write the big check ourselves in one go potentially to help our community, they're going to write the big check. Frankly, the West Coast of Florida, when they were hit 3 years ago, $1.4 million was deployed there. Well, we're a big organization, but we're not necessarily able to write that check in that time of need. But
Mhm.
collectively, the family got together and were able to support. And so if that happens here, we're going to see that same support come back to us. And that's I mean, it's a very cool I don't wanna call it an insurance policy, but it's kind of an insurance policy that always pay back, and I'll give NAR
It's your karma chips.
yeah, karma chips, I love it. Huge credit is
I stole that from Christine Frederick from the Lord's Place.
oh, she was great, just met
They're
her.
karma chips.
But you understand what I'm saying, so, yes, we can deploy funds, we'll raise funds for speed to the need ourselves, but we have this leverage point through these partnerships where we're gonna get a large dollar amount to be able to do more quickly, help more people when the event arises.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, foundation. Obviously, it's just not about writing checks. We've talked a lot about money.
Yeah.
It's also about showing up. So, why don't we talk about why volunteerism is so important to this organization and such an important part of the overall mission?
Well, absolutely. These are our communities, right? We serve and transact, frankly, and do business with these places. But as leaders in the community, and frankly, I think every realtor is in some capacity because they sell the community, they serve the community. They're the first phone call when somebody's looking for anything from a restaurant to a plumber, right?
Right.
So we connect everything in these communities, and therefore, when there is something or there is a need, they look to quite often us first. But anything from, we mentioned Habitat for Humanity, but we've got beach cleanups, we've got park cleanups. Um, we sell these
We've
communities,
got
I
one coming
guess.
up in July, don't
We do
we?
have one coming up in July. It's one of my favorite ones. Um,
Well, wait a minute. Let's pause there. Lake Osborne, guys, if you want to come and help out our world, we participate in the Florida Waters, Clean Up Florida Waters initiative that Florida Realtors puts on. So this is our part of giving back. We do multiple beach cleanups, but one of our bigger ones in Palm Beach County is actually in Lake Osborne,
Osborne, John Burns
which
Park.
John Prince Park.
Yep.
You live a little close to there, don't you?
I do. I do. My family thankfully came down here from Canada, which is one of our relating points.
We heard you say out.
Out, eh? And I feel like we did that on the last podcast too.
Probably.
But no, they came down and moved into Lake Osborne community, and I've been thankful to grow up and around that. It's a beautiful park.
That's gorgeous.
And honestly, it's a great, I mean, gosh, you see families and kids playing in that park and working out, and there's 11 miles of pathways to ride your bike around the lake, and honestly, it's a draw point to the Lake Worth area, let alone Palm Beach. People come down just to spend time in that area
Yep.
during the winter, and it's awesome. But like anything, unfortunately, human nature, we all think that one piece of paper that we drop isn't going to matter, and uh, we do an awesome job cleaning up that park, let alone the beach cleanups we do in St. Lucie and Broward that go along with these water cleanups. But I kind of love the fact that it's not just another beach cleanup in Palm Beach. It's something a little bit different for an area that really gets used by our community.
Yeah. Guys, please cut it out with the plastic confetti. I don't care what age that child has just turned, but
Yeah.
I must have picked up literally 20 pounds of plastic sparkly stars and little birthday cakes. And oh, if I could find that family. Anyways, let's cut that part out. I was just gonna say, I was just gonna say, what would you? I mean, I don't understand people in the state of Florida that just think that you could just throw plastic all over the ground. It just boggles my mind because we try to protect our waterways and keep our beaches clean and our
Yeah.
parks clean. You're like, oh, I'm in a pavilion. Like some maintenance man's going to pick this up. They don't. So it ends up becoming part of your environment, and it's terrible. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. So I think my cheery demeanor just backfired on me. What would you? So my next question was going to be, what would you say to a realtor who's listening and wants to help but doesn't know where to start? We've talked about scan the QR code and give us some money.
Right.
And we just talked about what we're going to do with the beach cleanup. But any other ideas for somebody who really wants to just say, you know what, I'm all about the community and want to help with the Our World Community Foundation? What
Right.
do they do? What if you're a realtor who maybe hasn't had a sale in a while because we're in a down market? What could they possibly do in order to help us?
I mean, if you have the time and you feel like you want to get involved, I mean, there is always an event coming up of some sort. We have school supply drives that we do, partnerships with the Stranahan House
Yeah,
down in Fort Lauderdale, where we literally go down there and we'll re-garden for them just to
sure.
help it. Right? We have people that have a need for, honestly, their house needs to be painted,
Yeah.
and we'll mobilize around that.
I think you and I think, I think it was in Pompano Beach where we went and cleaned up that whole street, painted people's houses, redid the landscaping at the church property.
Yeah.
That was a major undertaking. Home Depot was one of our partners for that came and gave us all the supplies that we needed, which was really incredible. And those to see the smiles on those people's faces, like they couldn't afford to repaint the houses and redo the landscaping. I mean, these people were down on their luck, and it's like all the realtors showed up and said, "You know what? Let's make this a beautiful street again."
And they're overwhelmed.
Totally
It's
overwhelmed.
great. You almost have to support them while you're supporting them, because
Yeah.
there's tears, there's joy, everybody's smiling,
Yep.
but there's also just a lot because,
The
again,
gratitude is real.
yeah, they think 3 people are coming to do a few things, and 35 of our family will show up to do it.
Yep.
So it's incredible, but I mean, even I'll mention one more. Our honor flights, I think, are one of the coolest things.
We just finished one of
Yeah,
those.
veterans coming home after being honored, flown up to DC.
Yeah.
You know, they've got us here, right? Our country is where we are because of the history that we have,
Exactly.
and to welcome them home. after they've just been honored and they see these people waiting for them or the realtor family waiting for them and celebrating them one more time before they go back home. It's as lit. I was going to say it's as little as that, but that's not little, right? But your original, your question coming back into it is where they can get involved, right? I mean, I use this example, but there's missionaries, and there's those that support the mission, right? Well, be the person that shows up. Like, if you got half a day or half an hour to show up to welcome somebody home, do it. If you can come and swing a hammer for a few hours, do it. And I will tell you, if things are a little tough in business, sometimes showing up and swinging a hammer and hugging, let alone the realtor next to you that's helping you, but the family member that's so thankful for that
Yep.
will reinvigorate you in this business. Super briefly, I'll just say, like, I was 8 years in this business before I got involved in the association. I was ready to switch careers. I was the transactional part of real estate didn't fill my cup. The impact part of real estate that we do, these foundations in all their forms, frankly, the advocacy that we do to support our communities, fills my cup. And I'm
100%.
thankful to have the business to support that called real estate. Uh, but it's incredible to me the lasting impact that the realtor family has in all capacities.
So I've got 3 more questions for you. We're gonna do a little lightning round, to sort of land the plane, and then, I am going to ask you once again, question that we, used to ask everybody until we sort of switched gears on the podcast, but let's do a lightning round. So, if every realtor in our association committed to one act of service in their community this year, what kinda impact do you think that would make? We're 93,000 people
Yeah.
now.
Like, I mean, I had to take a breath even to answer that question, right? Like, the lasting impact would be unbelievable. If people looked outside, we get so busy helping our customers and just doing that, which is impactful.
Yeah.
But if we took just a minute to look at that next event that's coming up, or go to a fun foundation fundraiser and network with somebody new and give a few dollars to the cause, I mean, the lasting impact we could have in all of our communities from St. Lucie, Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami would change. I mean, frankly, the impact that we are seen as in the community, so more people know about it.
Yep.
But just frankly, if they never did, like the lives that are touched by showing up and doing anything like we talked about today, we'd have better communities than we do today. And I'll stand by that all day.
What's one thing you'd like listeners to remember about the foundation after today's conversation?
That it's our foundation, and I say that with the big R in mind. This is the
Oh, I see what you did there.
Hey, but this is our realtor foundation,
Right.
right?
It's something we should be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, we all have had foundations that we support. We all have foundation, but this one touches every aspect of our business and translates it into what we do in our communities. We've taken the best of every thing that we saw as far as the different foundations and the different directions realtors were running to try and help. And we tried to go, here's a box where we can have the most impact together. And it is our foundation. Uh, our world has tried to make that impact and bring us all together. And frankly, Miami, our world now will continue to do that in whatever form that looks like into the future. And to me, it's just a bigger leverage point that we have by having a united membership and a united family. So I would say just remember this is our foundation. This is your foundation. And with all the ways you do give, if you remember this, it touches, I mean, we're helping people get into homes. I don't know how much more realtor it gets than that.
Right. Yeah, and you know what we talked about briefly that I'm getting off a lightning round for just a second because we talked about briefly the St. Lucie Foundation with the closing cost assistance.
Hmm.
We've talked about the disaster relief arm of it, but we never really touched on the Pay It Forward Foundation. And the Pay It Forward Foundation is really there. It's now all part of the RWorld Community Foundation, but that piece of the puzzle is there to help the realtor member that's fallen on hard times. A family member got sick, you are struggling to pay your mortgage because you can't go out and show properties. I mean, there's times when a realtor has really fallen on hard times, and this foundation is also here for them.
Yes. So we will always have that piece in there. And The specific narrowing that we've done is that we will help you with your dues when you are in need. So it's changed scope just a little bit because again, um, when it's so wide, right, it's
Mhm.
hard to really impact and help and have the means to do it. So,
Sure.
the legacy of the pay it forward is when somebody has been a consistent member, they've been in the business 5, 6 years, they have a history with us, on any level. Hey, what instance you want to bring up, but hey, your husband got sick and all the money is going towards that, and you're the one paying for the family and you can't make your dues this year. Yeah, we're there for you, right? And we have the ability and we have money set aside specifically for that, but we want to make sure that, you know, we are most impactful with that money.
Right.
Um, so that's a component that we kind of I don't want to say we hold back, but we look for the opportunities to help people in those situations by word of mouth when we know it's going to have the best effect for one of our longstanding members.
Awesome.
Yeah.
To close it out, let's hear your elevator pitch.
Um, My biggest thing with this is that it's all about the impact. It's all about our communities. We serve our communities, and I don't think people, our own family, let alone others, realize that every aspect of what realtors do changes, impacts, grows, and affects the futures of our communities in every single way. And this foundation specifically has these pillars that when you make it your foundation, our foundation, we have the ability to mobilize in the best way possible inside of what we do for our livelihood to impact those communities in the greatest way. And when you have a need, I'll go back to the website really quick, the rworldcares.com. We have tabs on there that if a community partner needs help, they have the ability to jump on there and say, here's what we need. Do you have the ability to help us? And of course, then we formulate around, plan around how we can. You want to be a volunteer, get your name on the list. There's a tab for that. Put it in. And when there's a disaster, we'll open up that window that's not always open, but the one that is always open is the down payment assistance. If you have a client in need, if you think of somebody, we want to help them. That's what it's there for. There's
Yeah.
no holding back.
Don't let the money just sit there.
Jump on there, put it in, and we'll mobilize as quickly as you can imagine to get to the speed to the need of impact.
Okay. We haven't done this in a while. Last question for you. You've gave us one before. Give us a South Florida gem, something that you absolutely love about living in South Florida.
Ooh, all right. You know what's funny is we actually talked about it, and I don't know if I would have thought about this way, but John Prince Park is a gem, and we're gonna do that water
It is.
up. And there's so many things for the community there, from the waterfront to the workout facilities to the parks and paths to the golf course I believe is reopening, but the golf course that's historically been there, even to the RV park. Crazy enough, there's an
They have
RV
an
park.
RV park?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
and it's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done a staycation there.
Okay.
Super cool right on the lake. So, I was thinking about restaurants, I was thinking about all these different things, but I'll tell you what, if you haven't been to John Prince Park, and check out what they have there for us in Palm Beach County, it's worth a visit. I'll
Maybe
go
we
with
need
that.
to rent an RV
Yeah.
and go down and like make some s'mores, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I
I'm
did that
down.
I'll tell you, I did that with Eric Sane one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, name drop Eric Sane,
Okay.
but yeah, he was there in his RV, and we all went and we, roasted marshmallows. Is one of the greatest memories, I can think of, actually. Great.
Eric, are you out there? Come on, bring the RV, buddy. We're gonna go
Yeah.
make some s'mores. Well, JD, thank you for being here with us again. I think at some point during this podcast I said it, but you've got to say something 3 times to get somebody to remember it. So
Yeah.
rworldcares.com. That's the letter R, like our world talk, but rworldcares.com. That's where you're going to go to get all your info, find out how you can help, and certainly give us all your money. That's all we want. We want your money.
I'm gonna get Chris another sign that says "Our World Cares" lit up right here for every podcast, so.
Okay. Done. Do it. We'll put it in the new studio. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with us once again, and we will see you guys right back here next Friday morning on Our World Talk.